That's right. Welcome inside GMFB, everybody. Tuesday, August 18th. Jamie Erdahl, Manti Te'o here in L.A. As always, Kyle Brandt with the Bad Beats shirt on the East Coast. Jeremy Fowler is going to be joining us here soon. New friend for us, Jeremy Fowler, and we like to make sure we rely upon his expertise, huh? So before we move along emotionally to Thursday night games, which will kick off week 2, let's just take a gander back at what happened over a very eventful week 1. And we start with QB1 in Cincinnati.
Getting some reps of real game-like operation is certainly beneficial.
It's always good to just be in the game, have that game environment, that feel, be live again as a quarterback.
He was having fun today, and that is so cool. And I thought he really functioned at a high level. Definitely not up to standard, not even up to par.
It was great to get out there and get my feet wet.
The right read, it just slipped, so that's what makes me be mad a little bit because of it.
Whether today went really great or whether it was a great learning opportunity, we continue to move forward. But I thought it was a great step in the right direction for him. Very happy for him.
Look, I had a lot of fun out there. I miss football.
I love Fernando with the buttoned-up player engagement polo. Very official. Very, very necessary for Fernando Mendoza, the number 1 overall pick to fill out. Exactly. Can't wait to watch you play this weekend again. We all miss football, as Joe Brady so eloquently said. So let's take a look back. Biggest winners from the first week of the preseason, Manti. It's been a couple days worth of football now, and you've had some time to digest it all.
Yeah, and people who thought that Dejon Stribling was the biggest reach in recent history in the draft had some time to digest as well, because the biggest winner would have to be Dejon Stribling and the Niners front office. I remember around the post-draft process, the big conversation was about John Lynch, and he's good at drafting guys later in the draft, but he's not really good at drafting guys in the first and second round, where he goes and drafts Ole Miss wide receiver Dejon Stribling. And everybody on the NFL consensus big board, whatever that is saying that this is the biggest non-quarterback reach, one of the biggest non-quarterback reaches since 2016. There are also some tweets that said the following, and I will get to this as these graphics come up, of all the people that had something to say. Jawan Jennings left in free agency, but if you look at the middle, it says, use its first draft selection on Stribling at pick 33. The Stribling selection was a bit of a head scratcher.
No.
He'd been a late riser, but this was a reach. And reaching in the draft is bad process. You know what he was reaching for in week 1? For a lot of footballs. He was targeted 8 times, had 7 catches for 63 yards. This was another one. Biggest move, signing Trent Williams. Move I liked. Signing Mike Evans. Move I disliked. Drafting Dejon Stribling with the first pick in round 2. There are so many comparisons this past week and this past weekend of Dejon Stribling. Everybody was saying, does he remind you of somebody? I was like, who does this guy remind? Some guys were comparing him to Julio Jones, Jamie.
Oh.
And some Niner fans were
careful.
Some Niner fans were saying that he looks like a young Michael Crabtree. And so for somebody, KB, who after the draft process was looked at as one of the biggest reaches, KB, the only thing I saw him reaching for were 7 of those 8 targets and a lot of first downs. So congratulations to John Lynch. They should make a big shirt that says, "In Lynch we trust," because he continues to put a lot of talent in San Francisco 49er uniforms, and I love what they got out of the Ole Miss wide receiver.
Yeah, I like some goodwill for the 49ers, too. I feel like they deal with a lot of pot shots, jinxes, and all this type of crap. And I'll give them some goodwill here, too, by talking about Sean McVay now. Sorry, 49ers, you got 30 seconds of goodwill. Now I have to talk about McVay. But, I mean, this is the answer. This is the biggest winner. Sean McVay has got the dream team. He's got his young quarterback project who came out and played really well. You got a win in Arrowhead. There's been no cataclysmic injuries. And don't you feel like this is the moment, and maybe this is the season that Sean McVay was born for? Like, I feel like he was put on his planet to be the captain of this ship. And if the ship wasn't already the most beautiful ship in the league, there's all these constant talks and rumors and scuttlebutts about, oh, Sean, are you also going to add to this ship maybe a top 10 football player at any position ever? Give it up. Is Aaron Donald going to be a Ram, Sean? Just tell us. Go ahead.
We've had great dialogue. It's going to be on his timeline, and when he feels good about having clarity, whether that's a yes or whether that ends up being a no. We've had some tentative discussions behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff without getting too granular with it, and just out of respect for, the dialogue that he and I have, that I do think he's earned the right. I think our guys are doing a great job of focusing on what they can control, and that's our current team as it stands right now. If Aaron does decide he wants to do it, I've been very open that we want to try to be able to explore that opportunity.
God, that's a lot of words for a lot of BS. Yeah. We had granular was in there, some great discussions, some great dialogue. He's just spitting out the same thing. And I'm kind of reaching the point, I don't know if you guys are with me. I'm tired of being led around and or lied to, like that this is not going to happen. We've had 2 tryouts for Aaron Donald, and I feel like it's the celebrity couple who refuses to admit that they're a couple. No, we're just friends. We're not together. We have paparazzi pictures of you guys walking around the farmer's market with your hands in the other person's back pocket. You're a couple. We know you guys are a couple. Stop saying it's granular and great dialogues and just say, yeah, he's going to be a Ram. We don't know when he's going to show up, but we know it's happening. They won't do that. And they're just jerking us around with all of this talk of dialogue and granular. Enough with the granular. I'm past granular. It's not August 1st. It's August 18th. Let's make this happen. Next.
Kyle, I could not agree more. It reminded me of like those friends that you just know are going to get married 10 years from now. And you're like, can we just get this over with? And I think at the very end, the one that made my eye roll was Sean McVay saying, I would be open to having that conversation if indeed he was interested in pursuing the opportunity together. And you're like, just say it, coach. Come out with it, all right? We'd all be winners. The Rams would specifically, and the rest of the division would be challenged. Those were the biggest winners from week 1. But who did we learn the most about from the first game, from the product of? Can be a team, player, coach, Manti. What you got?
I learned the most about Jerry Jones. And around this time, last year, the documentary just came out, The Gambler and the Cowboys and all of that stuff. And, I think a week from today is when they had that Micah Parsons trade. And the conversation was, Jerry Jones, the guy doesn't care about winning. He just cares about the clicks and he cares about the views. He cares about the brand. He cares about everything else but what happens on the gridiron. And then he signs Quinnen Williams to a major contract. They go into Seattle, who is the reigning Super Bowl champs, and Camden Brown looks like a Victor Cruz, an undrafted guy out of Georgia Southern, has 2 incredible touchdown catches. He signs Von Miller yesterday, and the thing I learned was like, no, this guy knows what he's doing. He actually cares about winning. Yes, he was getting a lot of flack last year with some of the decisions he was making and some of the drama that kind of was out there for all of us to kind of dissect. But now we're sitting here in the middle of August, getting ready for a week 2 of the preseason game. I don't think there's anybody that can say that Jerry Jones didn't know what he was doing from day one. Yes, the guy's a gambling man, but I don't think a gambling man could have predicted how well the Cowboys are doing and how well they're looking, KB, going into week 2 of the preseason. So Jerry Jones, shout out to you.
Well, you're setting me up perfectly, Manti, because now I'll go directly to a nemesis of Jerry Jones, and I think it's the New York Giants. I feel like we've learned a lot about them in the past couple weeks, past couple days. We're going to be talking a lot of Giants this year, guys. We've been around John Harbaugh for a couple decades. We've never seen him in the New York